not to be. That's what Hamlet was lamenting about in his soliloquy as he was considering suicide. Well, it's probably not that bad. Today we're going to be talking about 401Ks, but we're going to be suggesting that 401Ks can be a real blessing. They can be kind of a bit of a curse. They can be a real benefit to you, but you need to know how to use them. So let's first and foremost talk about the 401K. The 401K is something that is going to be provided to you based upon your employer and what he wants to provide for benefits. And there's lots of things that are similar to a 401K. You can have a 403B, you can have a simple IRA. But all of these things have one thing in common. They're all provided to you by your employer, and number two, they're all designed for growth. So let's talk about this. You see, 401Ks are designed to be growth-oriented tools. That means that they're not designed to be safe, insured investments for people who are retirees. And so as a result, if you have a 401K, you want to use it appropriately. Now, one of the first things that we need to keep in mind is the fact that 401Ks are going to be taking advantage of volatility in the market. You know as well as I do that the market doesn't continually go up, just like the market doesn't continually go down. And so one of the advantages that the 401K has over a lot of other types of investments is that you're putting money into the 401K every single pay period. Now, most of the time, 401Ks are also matched by the employer. So if you put money in, they put money in. It's an advantage that you have as an incentive. But here's the thing. When the market's going down, I know it's scary. I know that it feels uncomfortable. You're looking at declining balances in your 401K. But if you understand that the 401K is using dollar cost averaging to actually help you, and you understand the mechanics of what's going on, then it can feel a little bit better to you. You see, as the market is going down, you're buying more and more and more shares. And because the stocks don't always go down, but rather they hit a trough and come back up, it allows those shares that you bought for fewer dollars to now start to appreciate, and in the end, they become worth more. With that being said, though, again, we've got to understand that the 401K is not designed for the person who is, say, within 5 years of retirement or they're retired. The 401K is designed for the 20, 30, 40-year-old that potentially has 20, 30, 40 years of working ahead of them before they finally retire. So, what do? If you're near that retirement age and you look at the market and you see that the market's getting long in the tooth and you expect, as I do, that the market is going to probably sustain more volatility in the future, and you're so close to retirement you don't want to see your balance disappear, then let me kind of let you in on a little bit of a secret. You see, the federal government knows the 401Ks are aggressive investment tools. And that's the reason that they made a provision that says if you're 59 and a half, you have the ability of taking your money out of a 401K without any kind of penalty. You see, this is called the in-service rollover. It's basically where you break free of the shackles. The 401K balance can be taken either in part or in whole, and you can roll that money into an individual account. Now, what's the advantage of that? Well, the advantage is really twofold. First and foremost, if you've reduced your risk by taking, say, 50 or 75 or even 100% of your money out of your 401K and you've rolled it into your IRA, think about the power of that. Number one, if the market goes down, you haven't lost your balance. Number two, the money that is in your individual account can be invested any way you want. For so many different up-and-coming retirees, what they're looking to do is take their winnings off the table and take the money in their IRA that they've rolled from the 401K and invest that for income. That way they can get a head start on the income that they're going to need to replace the income that they're going to lose when they retire. Income through interest and dividends where their principal is safer, their principal is producing interest and dividend income that they can either spend or save and reinvest and grow. Now, what's the other advantage? Well, if you've reduced the risk or you've completely eliminated the 401K, you've taken everything out of it, now you can take whatever money is left in that 401K, or if you're starting from a zero balance, now you can be really aggressive. Now you can really go for the gusto because you know that if the market goes down, a majority of your money is sitting in your IRA and it's individually being safe housed in the income producing model, while the 401K has a lot less balance and therefore it's going to lose a lot less and hopefully recover a little faster. Now, there's one other little detail that we need to be aware of. The reason that so many up and coming retirees will take advantage of the in-service rollover, aside from the fact that once they get out of the 401k, they have an entire universe of conservative income generating investments to allocate their money towards, is taxation. You see, when you're in a 401k and you take a withdrawal, you're doing two things that potentially could harm you. The first is this, that you're reverse dollar cost averaging. That's the absolute worst I think that a person can do if they're looking for income. If you have excuse me, money in a 401k and you're taking money out, well, think about it. Isn't that dollar cost averaging but in reverse? When the market is high, you're selling a few shares, but when the market is down, you're selling even more shares. That's counterproductive. It's cannibalizing your principal. So think about that just a little bit. The second thing is the taxation, because there's mandatory withholding. You see, every time you take money from a 401k, it has a law that says that you have to mandatorily pay a 20% federal withholding for taxes. Whether you need to pay the taxes or whether you don't, it doesn't matter. The IRS doesn't care. You're still going to pay a mandatory 20% withholding. Now, the advantage? Well, the advantage is that on the IRA side, there is no mandatory withholding. That means that if you take money from the 401k, 20 cents of every dollar, it's gone. If you live here in the state of Iowa, well, you're going to have not only the 20 cents, but then you're going to have to add probably another 10 cents on top of that for the state of Iowa to pay him. Well, the IRA, no mandatory withholding. That means that if I've done an in-service rollover, if I've moved 50%, 75%, even 100% of my 401k into my IRA, now I have the ability of withdrawing money if I wish to. As long as I'm over 59 and a half, I don't have to pay the mandatory penalty tax, but I can take that money out and pay no tax at all. Those are some distinct advantages. So, to be or not to be? Well, to be in it, to not be in it. These are all questions that you need to consider as you're getting closer to retirement. If you have a 401k and you're curious as to what could be done or how your allocation should actually be set for you at this age, I encourage you to reach out to me, give me a call. Telephone number is 866-290-3837. I'll take a few minutes out of my day to help you with your 401k allocations, answer your questions, and help you understand what the benefit of an in-service rollover could be to you today so that your retirement is one of success. Well, there's your tip for retirement success. I'm Matthew Johnson, President and owner of Johnson Wealth and Income Management. Make it a great day. So if you found today's video to be helpful to you, if you've gotten a little bit of information that kind of helped stimulate a little bit of thought and gave you an idea that could potentially help you on your road to success in retirement, I'd ask you to do us a favor. The first thing is give us a big thumbs up. We always appreciate that. Number two, if you want to subscribe so that you never miss out on a video, which we try to get out every week, depending upon my crazy schedule, go ahead and click the bell. It's probably going to be somewhere down here. And if you'd love to, you can go ahead and subscribe. I guess subscribing first, then clicking the bell to get the notification. I'm not much of a techie, but you guys probably know how to handle it. If you would, just go ahead and sign up and subscribe, and that way we can get this information into your inbox. We can notify you when we have a new video. And for all of you out there, I want to say thank you for watching our videos. It's fun to do these, and hopefully you get some value out of it that will benefit you greatly.